pet for mommy. You got a pet for mommy? This is my audience right here. Have you ever dropped off a prescription and it takes longer than 20 minutes to fill it? I work at a pharmacy, and the common misconception is that when you drop off your prescription, we just go to the shelf, pick out the medication, and hand it to you right then and there. When in the reality is that it takes a little bit longer than that to actually fill the prescription. When you come to drop off your prescription, we'll ask your name, to verify your name, your address, your date of birth, any allergies to any medications or drugs that you might have, and any insurance. If you have a new insurance card, we will take a copy of it and give you the original copy back. Then we'll take it over to the data entry station. At data entry, we try to find you in our database. If we can't find you in our database, then we'll enter all the information in that we verified with you when you dropped off your prescription. If any information such as your address has changed, we do it at this point. That way we make sure everything is current and up to date when you receive your prescription. We then take a scanned copy of the prescription, which will be used later by the pharmacist to help with the verification process. After we scan the prescription, we enter in the doctor that prescribed the medication and the name and the drug of the medication that was prescribed. Then we enter the date that it was written. When a prescription is written, it is only good 6 months from the written date. If it is a controlled substance, such as a sleeping aid or a pain medication, such as Vicodin, it is only good 6 months from the date that you fill it or until the refills run out. And then if it is a non-controlled substance, such as a antidepressant, it's good for 1 year until the refills run out as well. Next, we have to enter the directions and insert the quantity of the pills and any refills if the prescriber has allowed any. Then we have to calculate the day's supply. And this normally takes the longest because if we use a liquid or solution or a compound, or the hardest ones are the insulins. They're kind of hard to calculate the units per milliliters, and it takes a little bit more time to calculate the day's supply. Once we enter all this information, we forward it to the filling station. The filling station is us technicians, it's our favorite station. We call it the vacation station because it's probably the easiest out of the whole process. At the filling station, we select your prescription, and when we do, on the computer screen, it automatically prints out a little label. We'll go pick off your prescription from the shelf and then bring it back to the counter, and we'll run it through an accuracy scanner. An accuracy scanner, it verifies that the medication that was entered in the data entry matches the one that is in your hand. And that's very important, because if you dispense the wrong medication, it can potentially injure or kill somebody, and that's what we're really trying to prevent. So we want you to have the right medication. That is why we run that through the accuracy scanner. Then once the accuracy scanner okays it, we count the pills through a pill counter. And then we put them in the right containers according to size and the amount. It all depends. Sometimes they're really small and sometimes they're really big. And by law, we have to put a child safety cap on every bottle unless specified by the patient. So if you would like easy off caps, you need to specify before we fill your prescription. That way we can put it on your file. That way you get an easy off cap every time. And then we just put it in a basket and forward it to the pharmacist. The verification by the pharmacist is the most important part. This is where the prescription that we scanned earlier comes in handy. The pharmacist will verify that it was ran under the right doctor, the right medication, and the right patient's name and date of birth. He will also make sure that the drug in the bottle matches the drug on the label and the picture on his screen. In the meantime, he's also he or she is trying to answer telephone calls from patients and doctors, and he or she is also trying to counsel patients and answer questions that any other customers may have. And this is when the process tends to get a little slow, because he or she's trying to do all this at once, and it can take up to about 10 minutes before he can get the prescription filled, because he's trying to do 3 or 4 things at one time. Then he or she will approve the prescription, and then put it in a bag and put a receipt on it. Once that is complete, we put the prescription down in a bin according to the last name. And we have bins A, B, C, so on and so forth. When you come to pick up your prescription, we will ask your name and verify the date of birth. And then we'll tell you the cost of medication. And then we will ask if you have any questions for the pharmacist. If declined, or after the pharmacist counsels you, we'll ask you to sign a signature log. This is for our record stating that you picked up your prescription. And then you'll pay for the prescription and you'll be on your way. Some problems that can occur. There can be insurance issues. The prior authorizations, insurances sometimes will have medications that they don't want to cover. So then we have to call your doctor and tell them that your insurance won't pay for it. And this is a whole nother process that takes up to about 72 hours. There's also rebilling issues. Sometimes it doesn't get billed to the right insurance, so we have to fix that. Sometimes we don't even have the product in stock, so we have to order the medication, and it can take up to 2 or 3 days before we can even get that product in stock. Now that you know how the process of a prescription works, you may want to provide just a little bit more time to ensure that the customer service is exceptional and that your prescription is done correctly. Thank you.